Hi guys, it's the Forgetful Scholar and let's chat about books. So this week is going to be Solve My Murder. Let's see. The second one, aren't I always just so prepared? Fake Fiancee. And then the last one is a Ly-San-Ter Comes to Earth. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about is A Sucker for Love Mystery, Accidentally in Love, and it's spelled like that because wordplay, wordplay, wordplay by K.L. Ayers. So here we go. Now this one, it cracked me up. Like it legitimately cracked me up. So okay, so Sloan is a private investigator. He used to be a cop. And I will say that the world's magic is very interesting, as like they have the those sages who believe in like the eldritch gods. That's sort of like an established religion that kind of fell out of fashion, and they have magic within that. And then sorry, my nose is so itchy. And then they have this monotheistic religion, I think Lord of the Light, I think, and the followers of that believe they got magic from that. So it's an interesting kind of magic system. And he used to be a police officer, and when he was 9, he witnessed. He didn't witness the murder of his parents, but he saw them dead and saw a mysterious man with a knife, a very specific knife, run from the scene, and no one believed him. Everybody thought he was traumatized and all that kind of stuff. But he remembers, and he's been looking for that murder weapon to find the murder of his family. And his mom and dad were sages of the old Eldritch god religion. And he runs into I'm never good at pronouncing his name. Lanchin, a man named Lanchin at a party. A little bit of a spoiler. I hope this won't be too bad, but later on that night, because it's Halloween, it's like a holy night for the Eldritch gods, and he left like an offering for one of the Eldritch gods in his apartment when he comes back to his house, and Lanchin's there eating the pie like a maniac. That's how it's kind of described. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm not Lanchin. I took his body. He's dead, and I want to hire you for his murder because Azeroth the Lesser, which is a Cthulhu H.P. Lovecraft lore god of thieves and retribution, took over Lanchin's body because Lanchin was a devout follower of his, and he wants to find out who killed like his favorite." Now, there's a lot of H.P. Lovecraft lore in this, and if you don't know a lot of it, it's okay, because I think the author did a fantastic job of giving a brief explanation of the 4 or 5 that you kind of have to know, and the rest are like, oh yeah, it's just, don't worry about it. That we name them a couple times, but you don't really have to worry about it. It's more like Azeroth says it as like that is his title. He was born from blah blah blah. His parents are that, kind of like his introduction, and that's like a lot of them are said, but you don't have to know them. And the ones that are kind of important, the author did a fantastic job of like filling you in and why you gotta know them and stuff like that within the story. I will say the mystery, I had a lot of fun with the mystery. I didn't think the killer was who it was, so that was a fun twist. I liked the ending. And I loved how the author kind of made fun of themselves a little bit, like a little cheeky, because the sex scenes were a little weird for my taste, and even the authors mentioned it a couple times in Sloane's POV, like, why do I like this weird tentacle sex so much? Like, it's a little much. So I will say, like, I read the first love scene, I was like, okay, it's a little weird, I don't really like that, so so the other love scenes I kind of skimmed until it was over, because I didn't really, like, I'm like, oh, I'm happy they're connecting on that level, that's cool, okay, oh, that's really sweet where they are, and that's pretty romantic, really cool setting, okay, so I will say that because it's not my thing. Again, no king shaming on this channel. I'm just saying it's not my thing. So I kind of almost like you fast forward a movie. I kind of did that. But I kept reading it because the mystery was a lot of fun and the romance is really so like adorable, sweet, extra like, oh my god, they're so cute. And Azeroth the Lesser is quite charming. So quite fun and quite charming. Um so I did give this 4 stars. I think the only thing, and this is nitpicking, the only thing I didn't like was that, and this is gonna be a shocker, the epilogue was a little long for me. I know. Can you believe it? Usually I'm like, give me longer epilogues. How dare you? How dare you do an epilogue that's like a PowerPoint? No, I want detail. And now I'm like, it's a little too long. And that is, I know. I know, right? Whoa. But it's not horrible, and it's a sweet ending, and it sets up for the next book because Sloane is a private eye. So he kind of gets hired to investigate for the next premise for the next book, which sounds really fun too. So this one was a lot of fun. Sex scenes weren't my jam, but everything else was clever. The pacing was great. The character development was great. I liked how Sloane was like, why do I like this? Like, I like how it wasn't just automatically like, ooh, an eldritch god, yum. It was more like, why am I like this? Which, I don't know, it just felt a little bit more realistic to me, or a little bit more like I could relate to that a little bit more. So I did really enjoy it, and it was charming, it was fun, there were some funny points, the mystery's great, the romance was so cute and adorable, the epilogue ran on for a little longer. I think it could have been like a little longer for my taste. I was like, man, this is kind of a long epilogue, but that's totally nitpicking. You know what I mean? That's like, if I have to say something I didn't quite like about it, it would be the epilogue was a little long, and I don't really like weird tentacle sex scenes in my book. So I will admit right now, I kind of skimmed until they were done. Um, but that's me. You might like them, you might not. That's fine. I'm happy I just skimmed the romantic part, the sex scenes that I didn't like, because everything else was so cute and so adorable. And like, I'm happy I didn't just go like, oh no, that's weird, I don't want to read any of it, because the love scenes were really just them connecting, and everything else around them, the mystery and the romance, was so much more. So I really, really like that. Okay, so that's 4 stars. I think I'm going to check out more of their stuff, so beware. I don't know what this channel is turning into, but thanks for coming for the ride. Okay, so the next one is the next in the series I've been reading. His Human Organizer, Monsters Love Curvy Girls by Michele Mills. So this is the next one. I think this is book 4. Yes, book 4. Now, Ariana Gonzalez, the 5th, comes from a long line of strong, powerful Gonzalez women who are amazing and fantastic. And again, I love this writer's world building, because through her family history, when she's kind of psyching herself up to do something that's like, it's scary for her, she's like, my grandma did this, and my mom did this, and my great grandma did this, and I can do this because they're in my blood and they're my ancestors, and which I was like, oh, that's because you get more of the world of New Earth and like what's going on there, and everything like that, and I'm just eating it up. And I really do like how this writer is very subtle and very like, oh, you can pay attention if you want. If you don't care about it, don't worry about it. And I am half Puerto Rican, half Spaniard, so reading a romance where the main character is like a strong Hispanic woman, I was like, I love this. Give me more. Like, I turned into like a goblin and I want more of it, So I really did like that. And this is the series where they're terrified of these red devil-looking aliens, and then once they're over the fear, they want them bad. And Skull, who is a friend of the other aliens in the other series, he's in the same Black Ops unit as the first alien's brother and the third book's as well. And he works for Molten Lava Security now, So so the premise is she is a professional organizer, and the thing is, and like I was like, oh, her mother died in childbirth, and it seemed like her father blamed her for it. So he was pretty emotionally like from the few lines that were written, like he would always say that she was fat, she was ugly, and like the fiance that he picked out for her isn't gonna marry her right away because she's fat and she's ugly, and like why does she look like that, gross. And then she hears her fiance Antonio talk about how ugly she is and how fat she is, and he has to like close her eyes when they're gonna have to have sex because gross. Um, so basically, she's from a very powerful politically and financially family through the females, and the father engaged her to this man Antonio because he wants to be the president. So he's trying to be mayor and then move up from there. And he's a piece of shit. Let me just say he's a piece of shit. So they're basically strangers. She knows it's fake. She wants to get out of it. And every month she has to go to the medical center and get screened to make sure she's pure, like she's still a virgin. Well, he's just like fucking his secretary and stuff like that. And she's had it. And the thing is, her inheritance is tied up into this engagement. So if she doesn't marry him, she loses her money. But he doesn't get it either. So she's just like, you know what? I am done. So there is a great scene where she confronts him in public, and just the crowd is so like supportive of her and like, we got this girl, we'll hold him off, you go, you get out of here, you know? And the Gonzalez women are pretty famous on New Earth. Like everyone thinks they're like, you know, like generals kind of a thing. So she quickly goes to Tervas, the red alien planet, because Skull was ordered by the government to get his weapon collection together because it's dangerous, and they'll seize the property if he doesn't, because he's like a weapons hoarder. And he has his own fiancee Lilith, who you find out through the book that's really like because in the last book, um, Hannibal in Hannibal's POV, he hates her because he thinks she's a user. So both of them have these fake fiancés, except Skull doesn't really know that Lilith is a fake bitch, you know. So, you know, the romance, I'm gonna leave it there because there's a lot of fun stuff that happens. They, you know, he loves collecting and she loves organizing, so they have really matching personalities. She saves 2 kittens on the way there. That's really cute moments. It's a fun story. This is cute. I would say this is a 3. I think this is on par with, book 3, like, and book 1. Like, I really liked it. So this is a 3 for me. I enjoyed it. Probably gonna continue over the series because I think it's cute. It's like a fun Sunday read, you know, when my brain's just fried from the work week, and this is just so much fun to pick up and just enjoy the silliness and the cute romance of it, and like, you know, it's just fun. It's just fun, guys. So this is gonna be a 4. Now, the last book is Heart of a Warrior, the Ly-San-Ter Family, book 3 by Johanna Lindsay. And this one, here we go. There we go. And this one also is an older one. I forgot to check when it was published. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, not as... Okay, 2001. Not as old as I thought it was, because the other ones are, like, from the 90s. So this is the book 3 of, like, the Warrior's Woman, and Keeper of the Heart. And this is... So, Warrior's Woman is their parents, Keeper of the Heart is his twin sister, and this is Dalden's story. So, in book 2, Shandy, escaped to the planet of the women that took control of their men with, like, mind-altering brain rods, and a king from Century 2, I forget his name. He's not really... I mean, he's important because he's, like, the main protagonist, but, like, I can't be fucked. I don't remember what his name is. He finds out about the rods through Dalden kind of loose lips, by accident. So Martha calculates that the guy from Century 2 has come to Earth to take us over with the mind altering rods. So Dalton, feeling responsible, he's like, oh, I have to go there and I have to, save Earth. So they come to Earth. um, Martha, I hate me Martha in this story. She wasn't so bad in this one. Um, there was she there was a lot of technobabble from her and a lot of like narration from her that I didn't think was necessary. Um, I'm trying to think, like, and like Brittany's the girl. Okay, so let's jump to the girl and then I'll explain my overall thoughts. So Brittany is an Earth woman, and she's a carpenter, and she works at a spa part time because her dream is to make her to. She has a dream to build her home, like to build her own house. She's kind of a tomboy and everything like that, and she's very tall. She's like 6 foot, so she has problems dating, and she's just had a bad breakup because the guy's like, "Oh, you're too tall for me," whatever. Okay, so oh, this is FM. The second book was FM, and the first book was MM. Sorry, gotta remember to do that. I'm sorry. Um, she like her personality. I like her. I liked her at first. I liked her through the whole thing. It's just so Dalton comes to Earth. They meet. He kind of hires her to help him find where the bad guy is, and he doesn't say anything. It's kind of very much like, oh, secrets, la la la, and Martha chimes in every once in a while. I was like, classified, doll, don't worry about it. And Dalton knows that this is his woman, because his people can just kind of know, you know what I mean? But Martha's like all gloom and doom, and she's like, no, you can never work out, all this kind of stuff, and he's like, no, she's my soulmate, we'll work it out. So I will say I kind of wished the confrontation on Earth was a little longer. Um, I wish there was more in depth on it because, like, an alien came to Earth with mind altering rods that only work on men, but the guy didn't know that. So I thought it would be kind of fun to play that out a little bit more than what it was. But it was all right. Like, it wasn't heart pounding or anything like that. Their chemistry was great, and their characters together are great. Martha wasn't as annoying as she was in the second one. What did drive me nuts was how long Brittany's denial was, because she doesn't believe he's an alien. She doesn't believe she's on an alien ship. She thinks it's like this cult thing, and they're like doing all this to make her believe it. And she loves him despite this, and she's gonna break him out of the cult and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, and we didn't really see how much that affected Dalton. Dalton. Sorry, I gotta say like Earthling names. Give me a break. So it just lasted too long. Like, I understand it would be like a big chunk, um, because she's not like a scientist, so she wouldn't be able to do like a blood check out their blood and be like, oh, of course. Or she's not like an anthropologist who would just like be respectful of their culture and try to figure out what's going on. And she's not a geek. Like, in the beginning, she scoffs at the idea of UFOs, and she's not a geek, so she doesn't have like cultural reference to be like, Star Trek, Star Wars, oh cool, she doesn't have that. So I get that her personality was like denial, 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 but it just lasted way too long for me, to the point where she made Martha not annoying at all. Like, she was so annoying that I was on Martha's side at one point, and I was like, bitch, what are you doing to me here? I hate Martha, what are you doing? So it was just, it lasted way too long, and it was, I would say, like almost half the book of her denying. She's on an alien planet, deny. She sees alien animals, deny. She sees a saber tooth, deny. Like, it was to the point where, like, shut the fuck up. Like, at one point I was like, Dalton, just throw her out the window. Just throw her out of the spaceship. Your secret's safe with me, brah. Like, and you don't want that for a romance, And it's a shame because the first half of the book was pretty cute. Like, it was good. I thought it was like, probably not my favorite, but I thought it was cute, and I thought it would be an interesting setup and things like that. But the denial just took way too long. And I get it. It's going to be long, but 20 chapters is just too much. So I really wish they tightened it. So I would say because the first half was fun, the second half was horrible. Well, not horrible, but like, oh my gosh, shut up. Um, so I definitely put this in 2 stars area because it wasn't as horrible. Like it wasn't as bad as the sisters. Like the sisters, I had to force myself not to keep reading it. This one, I was getting annoyed, but I'd never thought about putting it down just because, literally, maybe because Martha was away from Tendra, that they weren't as controlling and as annoying as the second one. But you know, I'm kind of happy I'm done with that family. I don't know if she wrote more. I don't think so. I haven't seen any of it. Um, it does seem that I missed like a cowboy book she released a little bit ago, so I got that. So I'm gonna, can't believe I missed one of her books, so I'm gonna read that one. But anyway, so that was this week. It was pretty good, all things considered. So I don't want to, but it's time for me to get back to the real road. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.